Hi, my name is Sejal. I'm Ria's mum. I brought Ria after knowing for 5 years when she was born there were some issues which, doctors, pediatrics did not address. So we kind of knew after her birth that, she was struggling in some areas, like she wasn't crawling, she wasn't walking, she wasn't rolling, she wasn't doing tummy time. So we knew there was something not right. When this first happened, we were in Pennsylvania and we saw 3 different pediatrics, and they all said to me, your child is fine, there's nothing to worry about, most kids don't crawl, most kids, don't need to, it's not a concern, you have nothing to worry about. After a year, we moved to New Jersey. We are qualified for some early intervention therapy, and they did say there were some issues with, tummy time, crawling, and that she should be doing that. Therapy started. Within 3 months, she was crawling, doing tummy time, and when she was 13 months, she started walking with one finger, holding my hand. We thought, okay, this is progress, but compared to other kids her age, we thought this is delayed. And this also affected her speech and language. She did not speak on time. She said no words until she was 2. That was her first word when she was 2 years old. After that, they discharged us because she was walking. They said everything's fine. But my husband and I still felt something just was not right. So then eventually, when she was 3.5, 4 years old, the schools and daycares that she was at would say to us, something just doesn't seem right with her. She doesn't seem to be happy at school. She doesn't seem to concentrate. So again, we thought something's just not right. I think we always knew from birth something wasn't right. So the root problems were never fully addressed. So eventually, as a family, we keep moving around. So we ended up in Texas, and where we stayed, 2 minutes away from where we stayed, was this place, and I saw the sign and it says we help kids with sensory, with issues, with ADHD, with this and that. And I always had a fear, could Ria be autistic? Could she have ADHD? And they told us that based on what they saw, she scored 0 on most of all the reflexes. So they explained it to me, and they said as a baby, these are the things that all child need to develop properly in terms of their brain. And they gave me a whole booklet on it. So I spent 2 weeks researching what all this meant, and I was shocked because when I read about all those reflexes, that's when I realized my child has this. And I was very sad because I felt this could have been addressed when she was born, rather than my husband and I, my whole family, had to go to 5 years of real pain and suffering, not knowing what was wrong with our child. So that was the first time in my life, after 5 years, I felt I had an answer to what was wrong. So they talked to us, and they developed a program for us saying come 3 times a week. Within 6 months your child will be fully normal and functioning well. And the fees were astronomical. So I asked the question, instead of me paying 14 or 15,000 to you for 6 months with no guarantee that you're going to address all these issues, what if I go to an occupational therapist, which my insurance covers me for 60 visits per year? So the director said to me, no way. There's nothing any occupational therapist can do for Ria that we cannot do. So I said, okay, thank you very much for your time. But I need to do my research. I need to speak to my husband because this is all new knowledge to me and I know nothing about any of this. So I went on the internet and I did a couple of hours of research, and I typed in different engines, and I said, what would be the best OT therapist in Tampa Bay that could offer reflexes? And Miss Kim came up number 1. And I read some of her reviews, and I was like, wow. I was just so shocked and so amazed that I googled her up, and when I found out she lived 5 minutes from where we were staying, I was like, wow, this just feels like something, a blessing. So I called up, and I caught Miss Kim, I think, on a Friday afternoon when she was about to close. And I said, hi, I introduced myself. I said, I have a 5-year-old and I'm really, really concerned. I feel with what I read about you on the internet, so I think you could help my family and my child especially. And Miss Kim was, okay, can you come over right now? And I said to my husband, drop everything, and we just jumped in the car and we came over and we met Miss Kim, and I explained everything. And then she said to me, don't worry, you're at the right place. She said, I have a lot of patients I'm helping. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have the knowledge, I have the experience, and she put me at ease straight away. You know, I had been nervous and worried for the last 5 years. So when I met Miss Kim, I felt for the first time after meeting her that I felt I'm in the right place, and I felt that my child is finally, after 5 years, going to get the right help. So for me, that was the biggest feeling of happiness, you know. And then, you know, Miss Kim said we'll do a full evaluation, which she did, and Miss Kim explained to me the sequencing of how you do this, why we do this, what kids go through when they're born, what happens if they don't do certain, you know, reach certain milestones. And she said to me that crawling is something that all kids should do, which is what I always felt was important. And then she explained to me the left side and the right side, and I spent many hours researching what Miss Kim told me, and everything after that point finally made sense. And that's when I felt, okay, we're finally going to get help and we're going to see improvements, and we did. When Ria first started with Miss Kim, she was a very scared girl. She would not listen, she would not follow directions, she was angry, she would have temper tantrums, she would not follow instructions, she would not sit still. She would be the kind of child that would just go anywhere and everywhere, you know, not organized, nothing. And she had a lot of fear in her. Since then, I can tell you that I have a complete different child. Whereas before, my husband and I would be scared of Ria, like literally scared to go near her, to talk to her, because we didn't know what kind of mood she would be in, how she would react towards. After her seeing Miss Kim regularly, we saw a big improvement in her behavior, her temper, her ability to focus, follow instructions, be calmer. A lot of the issues that the reflexes caused were resolved. In school, she's doing wonderful now. We have not had any concerns from the teachers saying that she's, you know, not focused, she's not paying attention, she's not listening. In fact, they actually say Ria is one of the most well-behaved child in the class, which is something that I guess all mothers would like to hear about their child.
Yes, you must be very proud of her.
I'm very proud of her and what Ms. Kim has done, yes. She got a report card last week for Q1 at her school, and today she got the principal's honor roll.
Wonderful.
Which Ria has never got before. This is her first time.
Yes.
So Ria was, when she came home, the first thing she did, she showed me that, and she was like, "Mommy, look what I got, look what I achieved." And my husband and I were really happy, and we're really proud of her.
You
see that.
Yes.
To see a happy child come home and give me that certificate,
yes,
was wonderful. I would tell all parents that, you know, if you have a concern with your child, do not give up. Therapy is not something that is going to be done overnight. You have to be consistent, you have to follow through with it, and you must do all the homework that's given to you every week. For me, homework was the hard part, because in the beginning my child did not want to do it, but we forced her to do it, and this is the benefit that you get if you continue with this. When my concern started at 10 months, when she was doing nothing, not sitting up, not rolling, not tummy time, and I had been fortunate enough to see Miss Kim then, Miss Kim would have identified all the issues at 10 months, and I'm 100% confident to say that Miss Kim would have resolved those issues immediately, and I and my husband would not have had to go through 5 years of agony, pure agony. And I think that would have really, you know, resolved so many issues, and my family and I would have had a normal 5 years of being able to enjoy my child. But I wish, in hindsight, she had met Miss Kim when she was 10 months. I think even if your pediatric says to you that, you know, I think your kid is fine, you know, you're just overreacting, don't worry. I think all parents should look out for the basic developmental progress, in the sense that if they're not rolling over at a certain month, it's a concern. If they're not doing tummy time, it's a concern. If they're not sitting up, it's a concern. And if they're not crawling, it's a concern. Don't let anyone say to you that this is normal, because I can tell you it's not normal.
Right.
My second child did all of those things, and she turned out to be and is a wonderful, beautiful child that I had not a single issue with, because as a baby she had done all of those, reached all of those milestones at the right time, and Ria had not reached any of them. So I knew then that something was wrong, and when everyone said to me nothing's wrong, this is normal, I still felt inside, and I kept pushing, and even though a lot of doctors and pediatricians say to me, you know, you're just a over worried mom, you know, you have anxiety and you're thinking too much, I knew deep down something wasn't right. And I think for all mothers and fathers, if your gut feeling tells you something's not right, even at month 2 or month 3 or month 4, go get help. And if that help is not what you want, go find someone else. Go on the internet, do research, do not stop, and most importantly, go to Miss Kim.